I was looking at my the analytics of my YouTube channel, and something that I noticed interesting is that my audience is like 93% men, which I am very glad that young men are learning to chant and are interested in orthodoxy, and I know that's, a sort of growing trend. But I also noticed that not very many women are watching my videos, and I wanted to try to basically fix that with this video. So, this is for women who are interested in learning to chant. If you're a woman and you're interested in learning to chant, and maybe you're not sure where to start. Maybe you don't have very many examples that you can look up to. I know for me personally, when I first started learning to chant, it was something that really benefited me was, listening to other chanters, not just other chanters in general, but other chanters that I could relate to and that had a similar voice as me. And for me, that was easy because if you look up Byzantine chanting on the internet, of course, there's going to be on YouTube tons of male chanters. That's the first thing that's going to pop up. But what about for women? If you're a woman and you're interested, you want to learn Byzantine chanting, you may have trouble finding someone that you can look up to, someone that you resonate with, that you can relate to, that you want to learn from. And I understand that struggle, and that's basically what this video is about. So, just real quick, just something about our theology, because I've had women ask me, just a couple times here and there, I have women ask me like things like, "Oh, do you have female students, or can women learn too how to chant?" And to me, the answer is obvious. Of course, they can learn, but the fact that they asked me that, I feel like I would like to clarify. First of all, something very important about our theology, and that is that Christianity was probably the number one event. The advent of Christianity was probably the number one event in the history of the world that truly elevated women. Because if you think about it, before Christianity, women were treated terribly in most societies. They were treated as property. And what Christianity did is, as we see, Christ chose a woman to bring him into the world. Christ became a man through a woman who voluntarily chose to bear him and to give birth to him. And he did that purposely. He could have come into the world in any way he wanted, but he chose the humble way, the way that every human is brought into the world. And he also did this to elevate women, because in our church, our greatest saint is a woman, the Theotokos. And I'd go as far as to say that not only does Christianity elevate women above most other religions, but Orthodoxy specifically, because of how we honor the Theotokos, the Virgin Mary. And it's very important to understand that Christ honored his mother. Some scriptures might be confused sometimes by certain Christians, where they read it and they might cite the wedding in Cana of Galilee, where Jesus says to his mother, "Woman, why does this concern me?" or something. And he refers to her as woman. And some people have the nerve to say, look how Christ talks to his mother. We are not going to honor the Virgin Mary. She's just a woman. But what you don't understand, what these people don't understand, again, the issue with, the English translations is that in Greek, this term that's translated woman, really in Greek is a term of endearment that means, did I say that word right? It's a word that means basically my dear lady or my dear woman. It's a very honorable, very kind sort of name to call someone, not simply woman. It's translated as woman. But I think Orthodoxy correctly honors the Virgin Mary. We don't worship her, that's going the other extreme, but we also don't disregard her. We make sure to honor her as we should, as the greatest saint in our church and the greatest of all women. So my point is, we need women in the church. We need women, of course women were the first people to see Christ's resurrection. So obviously women have an extremely important role in the church. Now I'm not going to be one of those people that says women should be bishops and whatever. Men have their roles, women have their roles. But I think if we follow our tradition as we should, I think really Orthodoxy elevates women in a way that is very special. So my point is, as a woman who wants to learn how to chant, where should you start? First of all, we absolutely need female chanters. I love listening to women chanters. I think they're so calming, so soothing to listen to their voices. And we need female chanters. But like I said, the issue for a lot of women is where do I start? Who can I look up to? So first thing I want to do is I want to tell you about some female chanters who I would recommend listening to. So I'm going to try to link their YouTube in the comments or in the description if I can find it. So in no particular order, these are just some people that I really look up to, that I admire. And I think that any woman who's interested in learning to chant should check out these women and listen to them. And I think that'll be really helpful for you to see what other women are doing, and it can serve as a wonderful example for you. So the first one, her name is Fotini Downey Robinson. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly, but she was in the Capella Romana with John Boyer. And I don't think she was Orthodox at that time, but she was basically, I think, inspired by John Boyer in his work to learn Byzantine music, and now she's a chanter, very, very talented chanter. I really enjoy listening to her, and I'm pretty sure she has YouTube. I'm going to try to link it below. So definitely check out her music. After that is, I'm biased because this is a very good friend of mine. I used to chant with her. Her name is Alina Buzdugan, this Romanian lady. She came from Romania, and she came to Colorado, where I am, and we used to chant together. Amazing chanter, very talented, and again, she has YouTube, she has Spotify. I'm going to try to link her YouTube in the description. Definitely listen to her. She chants in English, Greek, and a little bit of Romanian. And now we get to the monasteries. So I really love listening to the nuns in the monasteries chanting. I think it's just very nice. For some reason, I don't like listening to the male monasteries when they chant all together as one. But for some reason, the female monasteries, when they're chanting all together, there's something about it that's just very calming, very nice to listen to. So one monastery I'll recommend is called Saint Cosmas et Olos Monastery. It's a women's monastery in Canada, somewhere in Canada. If you live in Canada, if you live near the monastery, definitely check it out, because nothing's better than hearing it in person and being there in person. Another monastery is and of course this is a Greek Orthodox monastery, so I think the chanting is going to be all in Greek. Still very, very beautiful. Next is a Romanian monastery. and it's pronounced, I hope I don't mispronounce it, Kamarzani Monastery, Camarzni. This is a Romanian monastery, and the chanting is just absolutely beautiful. It's one of my favorite things to listen to. And this chanting, I believe, is in Romanian, and I don't even understand what they're saying, but it is absolutely beautiful. So definitely check it out. Another women's monastery is called Ormilia Monastery, and this is in Greece, and very beautiful as well. The chanting is going to be in Greek, and again, definitely check it out. So those are my favorite female chanters. So if you're a woman who's interested in learning to chant, the first thing I would do is check out these chanters, listen to them, and I think immediately you will very much feel a sense of familiarity and a sense of encouragement, because you're seeing other women do the thing that you are interested in learning to do. At least for me, when I was learning to chant, hearing other chanters that I could relate to was one of the most important things in helping me to learn how to chant. So now I want to talk about, what do all of these female chanters do really well that we can learn from? So one thing that I notice that women chanters are very good at is their sense of peace and calmness when they chant. So when I listen to female chanters, I feel calm. I feel at peace. It's very soothing. And of course, male chanters do it too. But I would go as far as to say a lot of female chanters are a bit better at creating this sort of peace and calmness. And remember my last video about the purpose of Byzantine music, where I say the purpose of Byzantine music is to evoke feelings, spiritual feelings of peace and calmness. And women chanters do such a good job at this, because they understand that when you are chanting correctly, you are not performing for people. You are glorifying God. So they do a very good job at this. And one thing that women have a gift for, and I'm a little bit jealous of them, is that they are very good at going into the lower range with their voice. They can chant these really low notes better than most men. And I'm genuinely jealous. I wish I could go down to the low notes, but I just can't do it as well as a lot of these female chanters. And for a woman, chanting in the really, really higher range is, when you start sounding like a soprano, it gets a bit performative, it gets a bit operatic. But when you hear women chanting in the lower range, it's so soothing, it's so calming. And all female chanters that I have listed here, they all do such a good job at this. And I think that's very important. So there's a lot that we can learn, both men and women. There's a lot that all of us can learn from female chanters. And if you are a woman who's interested in learning to chant, I hope this video was helpful for you. And if you would like to try a free lesson with me, click the link in the description. Like I said, I've taught both men and women. And of course, like I said, the process is pretty much the same. I just wanted you to be encouraged in your journey to learning to chant, and just to know that we absolutely need female chanters and we honor them in the church. So send this to any woman that you know who is interested in learning to chant. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and like the video.